The family of a UK teenager that was killed in a fatal crash, allegedly involving an American woman, are meeting the Foreign Secretary this afternoon.
Well, Harry Dunn's parents will speak with Dominic Raab after questions were raised about whether suspect Anne Sacoolas was eligible for the full diplomatic immunity that allowed her to return back to the United States.
Well, let's get more reaction to this breaking news. We're joined by Sky's diplomatic editor, Dominic Raab. And Dominic, it was yesterday that we were talking to Mark Stevens, and he said because this lady wasn't a diplomat's wife, she was a spy's wife, she shouldn't have diplomatic immunity. It would be under another reason. So what more do we know about whether the government didn't know or were misled?
Well, the Foreign Office strenuously rejected Mark Stevens' claims. He's not the only international lawyer making these claims, but they say that he is incorrect. They say that without a doubt, Anne Sacoolas had diplomatic immunity as the wife of a diplomat, in inverted commas, because we understand he didn't work for the State Department. But the rules are, if you are sent here by the American government, the government presents a list of people it wants to be regarded as diplomats. The Foreign Office is obliged to accept that. So you could be a military attaché, you could be an intelligence officer, as is most likely in this case. But you are, for all intents and purposes, a diplomat. You're given diplomatic immunity, and therefore Anne Sacoolas had diplomatic immunity. The problem with this is it's a pretty murky world, and the agreement that extends that immunity to people on this base has not been published, so a lot of this is kind of secret or without public knowledge. So it's hard to verify the facts. But yeah, the government's insisting that she has the right to diplomatic immunity. I think for the family, though, obviously it doesn't change the bottom line, which is they want to have an explanation from this woman as to what happened to their son. They have not had that, and so they are determined to get that, whatever the legal status of the way she's managed to get out of the country. And it has to be said that we would not know about this case were it not for the Dunn family's determination and their courage, frankly, to get the story out and to demand answers. And they came to Sky News, and Lisa Dowd, our correspondent's hard work in getting this story worked out and then getting it on air. And only after that happened did the government, the Foreign Office, Downing Street and the police say, yes, we don't think anything, or we think something is wrong here. Boris Johnson came out and said diplomatic immunity had not been applied in the right way in this process. But for 2 or 3 weeks, they remained silent. It's only because of Lisa Dowd's journalism and the family's determination. So we can hear now Lisa, who's been following this story all the way through, talking to the Dunn family about what they hope to get out of this meeting with the Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, which we can now break as news is going to happen at some point today.
We've been offered the chance to now meet with Dominic Raab. We've got that meeting this afternoon, so we're heading to London shortly. We're very much hoping for some positivity.
Yeah, some good news, hopefully. Hopefully he's going to tell us the news we want to hear, yeah?
What do you want to hear?
That they've got the waiver for the immunity and that she's going to be coming back for justice for Harry.
I hope he can look at us as human beings that just need our UK government on our side. If we get that positivity and we get that breakthrough that we need, we can actually start looking after ourselves and our other boy, his twin, and the extended family siblings. And until we get that positivity and hopefully the answers we need, we are still in that mode of just keeping going with that fire in our belly that still keeps telling us something is not right.
So they're a very brave family. I mean, they've lost a son. They are going through that grieving process, but compounding that was this complete bafflement, and they must have presumably thought the world was going mad because they found out this woman who they believe was involved in the accident just left the country, and then the authorities seem to have very little more to say about it, and they have been determined to get to the bottom of what has happened to their son Harry. So far, what they've heard from the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has said he doesn't think it's right that the process of diplomatic immunity was used for this type of purpose. The Foreign Secretary has spoken to his American counterpart, Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, and also spoke to the American ambassador here in London yesterday, where the Foreign Office says that he urged America to reconsider its position and do the right thing by Harry Dunn's family. So from the British official side of things, there's an acceptance that diplomatic immunity was not applied in the right way here, certainly in the words of the Prime Minister, and something needs to be done about it. From the Americans, we've really had silence. The ambassador is declining all offers for an interview.